In the hush of early morning, when the air is soft and the light still unsure of itself, the earth exhales a slow breath, and in that breath, a seed turns in the soil. It does not yet know the shape it will take, whether it will rise toward the sun with open hands, or remain curled in the dark with its dreams. The soil speaks in the language of patience, telling the seed that all things arrive in their own time. A stream begins to murmur nearby, its voice sliding over stones worn smooth by centuries of touch. The water has no need to hurry. It knows the sea will always be waiting, and that each bend in its path is a story worth telling. Beneath its surface, fish drift like unspoken thoughts, glimmering then vanishing, as though the mind itself is learning to breathe. Far above in the pale sky, clouds wander without destination, folding and unfolding into shapes no one names. Birds cross their edges, not bound by the borders humans draw on maps. Their wings cut through the silence, weaving lines that will be gone before they can be read. But still they matter. Still they change the air through which they pass. The path from the stream leads into a grove, where the trees stand as quiet witnesses. Each trunk is etched with the marks of seasons, rings hidden deep inside, and bark scored by storms and time. The leaves whisper to one another, passing messages from branch to branch, until the whole forest seems to breathe with a single chest. The wind moves through as a guest, carrying the scent of rain yet to fall. A deer steps into the clearing, its head lifted as if hearing a call that no one else can hear. It pauses at the edge of shadow and sun, each hoof placed as though the earth beneath might shatter. Then it moves on, vanishing into green depth that swallows sound, leaving only the memory of its presence. The forest opens into a field, where wildflowers lean toward one another, trading stories in colors and scents. Bees move among them in quiet devotion, their small bodies heavy with golden dust. Every petal seems to hold the light a little longer, as if unwilling to surrender it to the turning day. Beyond the field lies a hill, its crest marked by a single stone, worn down to a smooth curve by wind and rain. It has stood for longer than memory, watching storms roll in from the west, watching shadows lengthen across the valley, watching the slow dance of sun and moon. No one knows who first placed it there, or whether it rose from the ground of its own will. But it feels like a marker between worlds. From the hilltop, the land unfolds in waves, ridges lifting and falling like a sleeping body. Rivers thread through the valleys, silver ribbons catching the last light. Villages cluster along their banks, chimneys sending thin trails into the air, as if each house is breathing its own quiet story. Night begins without fanfare. Its first sign, the fading of edges. The trees lose their outlines, the fields their distinct colors, until all is a soft wash of shadow and silver. Stars emerge one by one, each a reminder that the sky has a memory older than stone. The moon lifts above the horizon, its face calm as a keeper of secrets. In the dark, the stream does not rest. It goes on speaking to itself, repeating the promises it made to the sea. The forest listens, its leaves now still, its creatures sheltering in nests and burrows. Only the owl keeps vigil, its call a slow question cast into the deep hours. Somewhere far beyond the hills, the sea waits without impatience. Its waves fold into themselves, their rhythm the pulse of something vast and constant. It gathers every drop the rivers bring, holding them for a time, then sending them back as rain or mist, always returning what it is given, always beginning again. When dawn returns, it does so gently, laying a pale gold hand on the hilltop stone, touching the petals of flowers still wet with night. The deer steps once more into the clearing, its breath visible in the cool air. Birdsong rises like a thin thread, pulling the sky toward day. The seed in the soil feels the change, the warmth seeping deeper, the roots waking and stretching. It begins to open itself, pushing upward through the dark, seeking the light it has never seen. When at last it breaks the surface, it finds the wind waiting, ready to teach it the shapes of motion. Days pass in slow procession. The seed becomes stem and leaf. The stem bends and straightens, learning the weight of the world. Rain falls and is drunk with gratitude. Sunlight paints green into every vein. Insects visit, bringing news from other gardens. And the young plant grows without fear. The grove thickens. The stream keeps its course. The deer grows older. And still the hills breathe their slow rhythm. Some years are gentle. Others bring frost that bites hard. But each season leaves its mark. And each mark becomes part of the whole. In time the plant flowers. And its petals open to the same sky that once held the drifting clouds. And the passing birds. The wind moves through its blossoms, carrying their scent into the unseen distances. Perhaps to another hill, another field, another waiting seed. And so the garden without walls grows, not bound by fences or by hands. It spreads in the memory of water and wind, in the patience of stone, in the endless conversation between root and leaf. It grows in silence and in song, in shadow and in the bright reach of day. And though no one claims it, it belongs to all who walk here, to all who breathe its air, to all who let their eyes rest on its colors, knowing that in time, they too will become part of its soil, part of its story, and the garden will remember them.